In this video, we're going to talk about how you need a great property team. Finding the right people to work with and help you along your property journey can be all the difference in making it stress-free and making it a profitable venture. Now, my name's Luke. I talk all things real estate, renovating, and financial freedom. Like this video, subscribe to the channel down below, and let's dive straight into it. So who's the first person you're going to need on your property team? Now, you can't buy a property without finance. So the first person I've got on the list is a mortgage broker or a bank. You're going to need to work with this person to help them understand your finances. So you're going to give them a breakdown of your income, PAYG statements, bank statements. You're also going to share with them all of your living and lifestyle expenses and talk with them about your property investing journey and where you want to be. You're going to share with them what you want to do in the short term and how you want to achieve your goals over the long term. It's very important to find a broker or a bank that's willing to work with you and understand your situation. Emily and I have had great success dealing with the banks directly and actually had more headaches dealing with brokers. I don't want to name them here on the YouTube video because some of them are large YouTubers as well, and they almost lost us a property purchase by not helping us and dropping us halfway through a finance clause. So finding the right person and the right broker or bank can make all the difference in reducing the stress and actually being successful in securing a property purchase. When I worked with our broker or bank, we had open discussions. We shared all of the information in a pack with that broker or bank in one go. And so our personal broker that we work with plenty of times is called Sarah, and we would share all of the information, number that information as Sarah had requested it, and send it back to her in a nice, neat order. This allowed her to process it quickly and actually get an understanding of our situation and confirm our borrowing capacity with the bank in a short time frame. The key is communicate with your broker or bank clearly, give them the information they need as quickly as you can, and turn around requests for information as fast as possible. We like to return the information within 24 to 48 hours to give minimum processing time to that broker or bank and to ensure you don't have any hiccups in the finance process. Property really is a game of finance. Being able to invest in property and using debt to leverage yourself to buy large assets can make all the difference in terms of compounding growth. If you have $100,000 and you can buy a $500,000 asset and that grows by 10%, you're going to make $50K in 1 year. Whereas if you just invested that $100,000 in the stock market and it grew by 10%, then you would only make $10,000. That's a $40,000 difference if they both grow 10% each year, the stock market and the property in value. So for me, using leverage and using the brokers and banks to your advantage can make a huge difference in building out your property portfolio. Number 2 on the list is a great conveyancer. A lot of the conveyancers out there use something called PEXA, which is an online settlement platform, and you need them to represent you in negotiations and in contract reviews. A great solicitor will offer as part of their service a contract review to make sure that there's no nuances or tricks or caveats in the contract that you're unaware of. This will give you confidence when buying, make sure that you have the right deposit in their trust account for settlement, and make sure things go smoothly from initiation of contract all the way through to the day you receive the keys. The average lawyer or conveyancer is going to cost anywhere between $1,000 to $1,500. So finding the right one can make all the difference. I personally work with a conveyancer up here in Brisbane as part of my business and through buying our personal investment properties. And I have a direct line to my conveyancer/solicitor to have a chat anytime about any issues with our property investing journey. Now, that's what I really want. Some of these online conveyancers, which just give you a broad team, which might be overseas, the customer service might not quite be there. And that's definitely what I've seen in practice through the buyer's agency and even through personal experience by trying to cheap out and have a $900 solicitor at some point as well. So spend that little bit of extra money and find a great solicitor, and they'll help you through that contract process and make sure you secure the property purchase and even help you with things like price reductions. If you need a building and pest price reduction and you found issues with the property like stumps, for example, and you need to re-stump the home, then maybe you get a quote for say $10,000 or $11,000. You might be able to negotiate $7,000 or $8,000 off on that deal, and you'll get that process through your solicitor to have a reimbursement at settlement. Now, that's a great trick. Reimbursements at settlement come cash out of the deal. So if you bought a house for $500,000 and the bank was willing to lend debt of, say, $400,000 on that property, if you got a cash out at settlement, that would mean you have an extra $7,000 or $8,000 that might be cash in your pocket to go towards those renovations or to even park in your offset account. So we've talked about your broker, we've talked about your lawyer. Who's next on the list? For me, it's going to be your building and pest inspector. The thing is, building and pest inspectors give people a lot of comfort. They might only spend 1 to 2, even a couple of hours at the home, but at the end of the day, it gives people assurances that the foundations are solid, that there's no live termites based on their inspection, and it gives them an understanding of what's wrong in the property. Now, for myself, I don't need building and pest inspections as often or as much detail because we're typically buying homes that need a lot of work, so a lot of manufactured value. But for a lot of my clients, we're buying tenant-ready properties, and I highly recommend in all circumstances to get a building and pest inspection anyway. Unless you're willing to take on that risk, just spend the $400 to $600, have someone look through the property and give you a better understanding and a second point of view about what needs to be done in terms of fixing the property. For example, we purchased a tenant-ready property with our client recently for around $700,000, and having a building pest inspector for around $500 look through the 3-bed home made all the difference in terms of giving that client comfort that the home was in good condition and didn't need a lot of work. You can also chat with the building and pest inspectors on site. So if you can't make it to the open home, maybe send your buyer's agent, maybe send your property manager or a trusted advisor or friend to go out there and have a chat with the builder on site. Sometimes you don't get all of the information in the written reports. So having a one-on-one conversation with the builder and going, do they think this is a good property? What might we want to address immediately? And what can be deferred in terms of the maintenance down the track can give you a better perspective and a better picture of what actually needs to be done and how much work and cost might be involved to fix things on the property. We have multiple building and pest inspectors that we work with regularly in our buyer's agency here at Purpose Property, and it's important to build a relationship with them. We typically pay them up front so they know they're confident in doing our jobs, and they give us the reports almost straight away. So make sure you have a building and pest inspector on your team list to help you build out a property portfolio. The next one on my list is a quantity surveyor and an accountant. The quantity surveyor will go out to the property and build a report that allows you to claim depreciation in your tax returns. The accountant will also review other deductions and maintenance expenses that you can claim in your tax return and make sure that you're doing everything by the book. These are key team members because they allow you to make sure you understand your finances, you're maximizing your profit and your returns in your property portfolio, and you're doing everything by the book and making sure you're not getting in trouble with the ATO. You should also check in on your land tax position. You can actually register with the state government to do that. So you can log in online, look at your new land tax valuations, and get an understanding as to whether you might need to pay land tax in any given year. The next person we have on our list, we're almost at the end, so we've got your property manager. Now, this person is going to vet tenants. They're going to look after the home for you, manage trades if you need maintenance items looked after, and collect the rental income and provide you statements of everything that's come in and out of the property. So you want to find a fantastic property manager. It can be all the difference in having a stress-free property that has great tenants and they stay there for multiple years and the rent's collected on time and your maintenance is looked after. Whereas if you find a poor property manager, you might not find the right tenants, you might not have the right communication and the information at your fingertips when you need it. For Emily and I, this is a very one-on-one basis. I recommend property managers as part of my business here at Purpose Property. We don't receive any financial kickbacks or incentives from them, but when I recommend a property manager, it's all about relationship. Are they personable? Do they understand the finances and process of having an open home, about vetting tenants, about doing background checks on them? And are they willing to present you clear financial information? So do they use a clear system like Property Me or another financial platform to send you your finance data for your investment property? The other thing property managers can do is attend your property and make sure they manage plumbers, carpenters, and chippies if you need minor work done at your property. Even great property managers will help you manage larger scale renovations, say a bathroom refurbishment or a new kitchen, if they're willing to go that extra mile. So if you can find a property manager that is willing to go those few extra steps, it can make all the difference in, making that property investment journey successful for yourself, and also help them in their business by recommending to friends and family, and also giving them your business as well. Now, the last one on our list today is actually hiring a buyer's agent. Now, buyer's agents aren't for everybody because, there is a significant upfront cost in hiring a buyer's agent for their services. Now, why exactly might you want to use a buyer's agent and spend maybe $10,000 or $12,000 or $15,000 on using their services to secure a property purchase? The differences a buyer's agent could be experience, time, effort, and someone to help you through the process. Now, I myself have built a property portfolio with my wife, Em, over $5 million at this point in time. So if you're working with a buyer's agent that has been in the trenches, that has built their investments out, that has bought their own home, then you want to work with someone that has experience and has runs on the board. You can check out what they've done in terms of their recent client purchases. You can look at their own investment journey and see how successful they've been. And you essentially want to mirror that person. If you haven't started your property portfolio yet, or you're stuck, following someone else's blueprint is actually one of the easiest ways to do so. So find a buyer's agent that you can connect with on a one-to-one basis, that you might have similar goals in terms of what you want to achieve, and can help you find and buy an investment property in the area you're interested in. Now, I run a buyer's agency based specifically here in Brisbane, and that's because we have a competitive advantage. We negotiate with agents all the time on the ground, we're receiving off-market listings, and we know this area intimately. I grew up in Logan and in Brisbane, which a lot of people didn't know. So yes, I grew up in Logan and I know Brisbane very well. The north side, the south side, the bay side. I understand Brisbane intimately as a market, and therefore believe I have a competitive advantage in understanding the areas and negotiating on properties here with local agents. Now, as a buyer's agent, we can help you negotiate a better deal. We can get you first priority on property. We can help you get discounts on building and pest inspections. We can organize lawyers and accountants and building and pest inspectors for you and help you secure that property purchase. Now, like I said, this is not for everybody. If you want to go out there on weekends and use your time and build your knowledge base yourself and go and fly to Brisbane, if you want to come and buy up in Brisbane and you're interstate, then you can do that yourself. It's totally up to you whether the value is there for you, but a buyer's agent might be a great choice for your property team. Those are some critical members in building out your property investment team. It may be more than you originally thought, and it does take a whole team to build a property investing portfolio. I hope you found this video useful and insightful. Make sure you drop a like down below, subscribe to the channel, and click this video over here for more things real estate, renovating, and financial freedom. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.